Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. We begin in the name of Almighty Allah, the most magnificent, the ever merciful. We glorify Him, we praise Him, and of course we elevate His name as He ought to be elevated. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Once again, I extend to you the eternal and of course the universal salutation of peace. May the peace, blessings, and mercies of Almighty Allah be upon you. A most pleasant good morning going out to you on this beautiful, beautiful Friday morning. It is, of course, now the end of another week. We are heading towards the weekend. A brand new day. Blessing upon blessing. As always, I do pray and hope that you are healthy and well, enjoying a period of happiness and prosperity, a period of well-being and goodness. I'm your host and brother in humanity, Imam Safras Ghani, here in your company once again on this auspicious and holy day of Jum'ah, the day of Friday here in Trinidad and Tobago. And of course, Jummah Mubarak going out to you and yours. But before we go any further, of course, I must take the opportunity to say a very special thank you going out to Pandit Sharif and Hari Prasad for those beautiful words of inspiration and motivation. And as we always tend to do here on the program, we definitely do wish him a safe and a speedy trip back home. All praises are due to Almighty Allah, the Lord of the worlds, the magnificent, the merciful, Master of the Day of Judgment. O Allah, it is you do we worship, and from you only do we ask for help. Guide us to the straight path, the path of those upon whom you have bestowed your favor, not the path of those who have evoked your anger, nor the path of those who have gone astray. Ameen ya Rabbal Alameen. Well, today's Islamic date is the first day of the first month, the first day of the month of Muharram, which of course is the first month on the Islamic calendar, and we have now rolled over to the new year 1447. As a matter of fact, last night the moon was looked for to bring to an end the last year, the year 1446 on the Islamic calendar, and I can report to you that the moon was sighted, which then signifies that that particular year, the year 1446, immediately came to an end, and then the new year, the year 1447, commenced. So today is the first day of the new year. So of course, before we go any further, I take the opportunity to wish you and yours a happy Islamic New Year. May this year bring happiness and joy, prosperity and goodness. And above all, may this year bring progress to you in every possible manner. Today also coincides with the fourth and the last Friday in the month of June for the year 2025. So of course, you definitely would have noticed by now that the days, the weeks, the months are rolling by so very, very quickly. We pray that Almighty Allah continues to bless us with goodness and a growth mindset. And may Almighty Allah make our lives in this life pleasurable. And of course, in the life of the hereafter, may our just and due reward come to us in the best possible manner. Well, at this point, as we are now getting ready to commence the holy day of Jum'ah here in Trinidad and Tobago, I want to take the opportunity to, of course, officially now welcome you live on air, live on the internet, live across our social feeds on Facebook and on YouTube as well, for this weekly program titled Soul Inspirations. The first program for the new year 1447, your program for inspiration, information, education and entertainment. Definitely do stick around. It's a pleasure to have you on board. I've got lots to share with you as we continue on with this particular segment of Soul Inspirations right here on 103.1 FM.
तारीफ उस खुदा की जिसने जहां बनाया, कैसी ज़मीं बनाई, कैसी ज़मीं बनाई, क्या आसमां बनाया। तारीफ उस खुदा की। पाँव तले बिछाया, क्या खूब फर्श खाकी, पाँव तले बिछाया, क्या खूब फर्श खाकी, और सर पे لاجوردی اور سر پہ لاجوردی ایک سائباں بنایا تعریف اس خدا کی مٹی سے بیل بوٹے کیا خوش نما اگائے مٹی سے بیل بوٹے کیا خوش نما اگائے پہنا کے سبز خلعتیں پہنا کے سبز خلعتیں ان کو جوان بنایا تعریف اس خدا کی جس نے جہاں بنایا تعریف اس خدا کی یہ پیاری پیاری چڑیا پھرتی ہے جو چہکتی یہ پیاری پیاری چڑیا پھرتی ہے جو چہکتی قدرت نے تیری ان کو قدرت نے تیری ان کو تسبیح خواہ بنایا تعریف اس خدا کی آب رواں کے اندر مچھلی بنائی تو نے آب رواں کے اندر مچھلی بنائی تو نے مچھلی کے تیرنے کو مچھلی کے تیرنے کو آب رواں بنایا تعریف اس خدا کی ہر چیز سے ہے تیری کاریگری ٹپکتی ہر چیز سے ہے تیری کاریگری ٹپکتی ایک کارخانہ تو نے ایک کارخانہ تو نے کب آئے گا بنایا تعریف اس خدا کی جس نے جہاں بنایا کیسی زمین بنائی کیسی زمین بنائی کیا آسماں بنایا تعریف اس خدا کی
Yes, indeed, you are tuned in to Soul Inspirations on 103.1 FM with yours truly, Imam Safraz Ghani. And once again, I want to reiterate what I said a bit earlier on. Happy Islamic New Year to you and yours. May this year bring prosperity and goodness and happiness. And of course, all of the blessings of the Almighty upon you and yours. And of course, it's indeed an absolute honor. And as always, a personal pleasure to have you here on the program this morning with us. Thank you so much for the pleasure of your company. May the peace, blessings and mercies of Almighty Allah be with you. Well, the program this morning is being brought to you through the kind courtesies of Point 14 Hardware Limited, Nicer Brand Products Limited, Adams Project Management and Construction Limited, Trinilink Solutions Limited, The Original Barbecue Hut Limited, and Absolute Investments Limited of Monroe Road in Canoopia. Well, with that being said, on the program this morning, of course, we've got a very, very engrossing segment as always lined up for you. In a short bit, we've got our inspirational segment coming up just around the corner. I've got a few beautiful Islamic selections lined up for you as well. We've got the early morning call to prayer coming up as well. A bit later on in the program, as we get into our lecture segment, this morning I'll be talking about failure, the catalyst for progress. It's important how you view failure. Failure is inevitable, but how you view failure in your life is indeed the deciding factor on whether you will make progress or whether you will remain right where you are. So that's our discussion point coming up in a very, very short bit. Once again, you are listening to Soul Inspirations right here on 103.1 FM. Thank you so much for the pleasure of your company. Jummah Mubarak going out to you and yours, and happy Islamic New Year 1447 as well.
Mustafa, 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 Mustafa. Sayyidul Awwalin, Sayyidul Akhirin, وہ ہے میرا نبی، وہ ہے میرا نبی. تجھ سا کوئی نہیں، تجھ سا کوئی نہیں. مصطفیٰ 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 مصطفیٰ. شفیع مذنبی خاتم المرسلین، وہ ہے میرا نبی، وہ ہے میرا نبی. تجھ سا کوئی نہیں، تجھ سا کوئی نہیں. مصطفیٰ 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 مصطفیٰ. سب سے پہلے مشیت کے انوار سے، سب سے پہلے مشیت کے انوار سے نقش روئے محمد بنایا گیا. پھر اسی نقش سے مانگ کر روشنی بزم کون و مکان کو سجایا گیا. مصطفیٰ 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 مصطفیٰ. رحمت دو جہاں احمد مصطفیٰ، وہ ہے میرا نبی، وہ ہے میرا نبی. تجھ سا کوئی نہیں، تجھ سا کوئی نہیں. مصطفیٰ 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 مصطفیٰ. سید الانبیاء سرور اصفیاء، وہ ہے میرا نبی، وہ ہے میرا نبی. تجھ سا کوئی نہیں، تجھ سا کوئی نہیں. مصطفیٰ 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 مصطفیٰ. وہ محمد بھی احمد بھی محمود بھی، وہ محمد بھی احمد بھی محمود بھی. حسن مطلق کا شاہد بھی مشہود بھی. علم و حکمت खिदमत में वो गैर महदूद भी ज़ाहिरन उम्मियों में उठाया गया। मुस्तफ़ा 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 मुस्तफ़ा।
Allah's blessings and mercies to you and yours on this beautiful Friday morning, the day of Jum'ah, the first Friday in the new month, the first Friday in the new year, the year 1447, the month of Muharram, a very special month on the Islamic calendar. May the blessings and mercies of Almighty Allah be with you. And of course, as we now get ready to move forward with our lives, as we welcome the gift of a brand new year, the year 1447, it's the opportune moment to take a good long look at yourself in the mirror. Take a good long look at yourself and look at your life. And tell yourself that you will overcome what you are fighting through. Tell yourself that you will find that elusive inner peace. And when you do, that struggle that you are feeling right now wouldn't feel as strong as it does right now. So be patient and keep working towards healing, keep working towards progress, and keep working towards goodness. And as we enter a brand new year, the year 1447, find the courage. Find the courage to begin again. Find the courage to start fresh. Do the things that will bring you joy. Do the things that will raise you up, lift you up to your highest potential. Believe in yourself and know that if you can see it, you can accomplish it. And if you are connected to the Almighty, the journey ahead becomes a very, very smooth one. So once again, Jummah Mubarak going out to you and yours, and happy Islamic New Year as well. And of course, on that note, I must take the opportunity to say a very special thank you going out to the sponsors. The program this morning is being brought to you through the kind courtesies of Point Fortune Hardware Limited, Nicer Brand Products Limited, Adams Project Management and Construction Limited, TriniLink Solutions Limited, The Original Barbecue Hut Limited, and Absolute Investments Limited of Monroe Road in Canupia. Well, just around the corner, we've got our inspirational segment coming up. Definitely do stick around. You're listening to Soul Inspirations right here on 103.1 FM. So as we kickstart a new year on the Islamic calendar, the year 1446 has just come to an end, and we are about to commence the year 1447. On that note, I want to ask you a very important question. How many of you have ever made a New Year's resolution? Now, how many of you have actually stuck with that resolution after 3 months? And it's important that you be honest with yourself. But I want to tell you that you are not alone. Studies show that over 80% of people abandon their resolutions within the first 3 months. We often aim for massive and sweeping transformations. I want to lose 30 or 40 pounds. I want to write a book. I want to meditate for an hour every day. I want to quit all sugar and so on and so forth. These goals that you make, of course, are all noble. But sometimes they can seem like a huge, huge mountain to climb. So what if I told you this morning that the key to lasting change, real, meaningful, sustainable transformation, isn't in grand gestures, but the key to lasting and sustainable change is in tiny, almost invisible decisions that you make every single day. Today I want to talk to you about the power of tiny habits. Tiny habits, and why they are the secret weapon of high achievers, of successful entrepreneurs, of healthy individuals, and fulfilled people. A secret weapon. As you step into a new year of the Islamic perspective, it is easy to feel the pressure of big changes, wanting to lose weight, wanting to double your income, wanting to transform your life overnight, as a result of which you make all of these grand resolutions with the intention and hope of drastic changes in your life. In reality, however, you don't need massive action to make massive change. In reality, the secret isn't in grand resolutions. The secret lies in tiny habits. And let me tell you of a story. There is a man named James Clear, the author of a book called Atomic Habits. He said that you don't rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems. And then in that book, he shared the story of the British cycling team who was stuck in mediocrity for over a century. Then came a new coach who did not focus on huge sweeping changes. He focused on tiny habits, 1% improvements in every area, adjusting the bike seats slightly, redefining nutrition, improving sleep, and so on and so forth. Within a few years, this team went from winning absolutely nothing to dominating the Olympics, not because they trained harder than anyone else, but because they mastered the art of small, consistent improvements. And that is my message to you this morning. And it's important to understand, why do tiny habits work? Well, number one, they bypass resistance. If you ask yourself to run a marathon tomorrow, you'll probably avoid it. But if you ask yourself to put on your running shoes and step outside for 2 minutes, your brain says to you, well, yeah, okay, I think I can handle that. Tiny habits build identity. Tiny habits may seem small, but they send a powerful message to your brain that this is who I am. Every time you push yourself, you are casting a vote for the kind of person you want to become. And then most importantly, tiny habits compound over time. Just like money compounds with interest, habits compound with repetition. One tiny habit repeated daily becomes a routine, and then it becomes a system, and then it becomes a lifestyle. Brushing your teeth, for example, doesn't give immediate results, but if you do it every day, you're able to protect your health for decades. The same applies to reading 5 pages a day, or walking 10 minutes a day, or drinking 1 more glass of water. A tiny habit is so small, it is almost effortless. A tiny habit is so consistent, it becomes automatic. A tiny habit is so powerful, it reshapes your identity. And think of it this way: a 1% improvement every year for a year doesn't add up. It multiplies. Every year you have that growth mindset, and that is what will take you forward. And if you put things into real life perspective, if you want to get fit, start with 1 push-up a day. If you want to write a book, write 1 sentence every morning. If you want to become more mindful, then take a deep breath before doing every single thing. All these may seem very small and insignificant, but that's the point. They're easy to start, hard to stop. Once you start, the momentum builds. 1 push-up becomes 10. 1 sentence becomes a paragraph, becomes a chapter. 1 breath becomes the way forward. So here's my challenge to you as we begin this new year. Don't aim to change your whole life overnight. Aim to change one tiny thing consistently. Consistency is the key. Pick one habit, make it so small that it is impossible to fail, and then repeat it daily without exception. Because the truth is, big goals don't change your life, small habits do. And over time, those habits change who you are. You go from someone who tries to someone who becomes. You go from someone who starts to someone who finishes. You go from someone who wishes for change to becoming change yourself. So as you face the prospect of a new day, a new week, a new year, ask yourself, what is one tiny habit that I can start today for myself that I will thank myself in the future for? Because the journey of 1,000 miles does not begin with a leap. It begins with a tiny, small step, a tiny step. And that tiny step can change everything. The most powerful systems are built with tiny habits. So don't wait for a perfect Monday, so to speak. Don't wait for a perfect moment. Don't wait for motivation. Don't wait for a new month or a new year. Start now. Start small. Start today. Because like they say, tiny hinges are able to swing massive doors. And tiny habits, they build big lives. Well, at this point on the program, we now go to the early morning call to prayer. The early morning call to prayer is being brought to you this morning through the kind courtesies of Absolute Investments Limited of Monroe Road in Cunupia.
أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدًا رسول أشهد أن محمدًا رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح الصلاة خير من النوم الله أكبر
A very special thank you going on to the sponsors. The program this morning is being brought to you through the kind courtesies of Point Fortune Hardware Limited, Nicer Brand Products Limited, Adams Project Management and Construction Limited, Trinilink Solutions Limited, The Original Barbecue Hut Limited, and Absolute Investments Limited of Monroe Road in Canoopia. Do stick around. You are listening to Soul Inspirations right here on 103.1 FM. Thank you so much for the pleasure of your company. Thank you so much for your beautiful, your wonderful messages. All of the messages I have received via the WhatsApp number 2994103 and also via the social feeds as well. May the peace, blessings and mercies of Almighty Allah be with you. Jummah Mubarak going out to you on yours, and also happy Islamic New Year as well.
مولاي صل وسلم دائما ابدا على حبيبك خير الخلق كلهم مولاي صل وسلم دائما ابدا على حبيبك خير الخلق كلهم سحر کا وقت تھا معصوم گلیاں مسکراتی تھی ہوائیں خیر مقدم کے ترانے گنگناتی تھی ابھی جبریل بھی اترے نہ تھے کعبے کے منبر سے کہ اتنے میں صدا آئی یہ عبداللہ کے گھر سے مبارک ہو شہ ہر دو جہاں تشریف لے آئے مبارک ہو محمد مصطفیٰ تشریف لے آئے مولاي صل وسلم دائما ابدا على حبيبك خير الخلق كلهم نہ کوئی آپ جیسا تھا نہ کوئی آپ جیسا ہے کوئی یوسف سے پوچھے مصطفیٰ کا حسن کیسا ہے زمین و آسمان میں کوئی بھی مثال نہ ملی مولاي صل وسلم دائما ابدا على حبيبك خير الخلق كلهم دلیل زندگی وہ ہے کمال بندگی وہ ہے کوئی بھی دور ہو اس میں معراج آدمی وہ ہے وہی تو دین و دنیا ہے جو باتیں آپ نے کہیں مولاي صل وسلم دائما ابدا على حبيبك خير الخلق كلهم کوئی بھی بات ہو ہر حکم ان کا معتبر ایسا کہ ان کا ہاں نہیں کہنا بھی ہے قرآن کے جیسا حدیث پاک کہلائیں جو باتیں آپ نے کہیں مولاي صل وسلم دائما ابدا على حبيبك خير الخلق كلهم سلام اس پر کہ جس نے بے کسوں کی دستگیری کی سلام اس پر کہ جس نے بادشاہی میں فقیری کی سلام اس پر کہ جس کے گھر نہ چاندی تھی نہ سونا تھا سلام اس پر کہ ٹوٹا بوریا جس کا بچھونا تھا درود ان پر سلام ان پر یہی کہنا خدا کا ہے خدا کے بعد جو ہے مرتبہ صلی اللہ کا ہے وہی سردار عالم ہے وہی غمخوار امت ہے وہی تو حشر کے میدان میں سب کی شفاعت ہے शिफात के लिए सबकी नजर उन पर लगी होगी। मौलाया सल्ली व सल्लिम दाइमन आबादन अला हबीबिका खैरिल खल्क़ि कुल्लिहिम। मौलाया सल्ली व सल्लिम दाइमन आबादन अला हबीबिका खैरिल खल्क़ि कुल्लिहिम।
Assalamu alaikum. See, we work so hard, sometimes forgetting about our hearts. What are we chasing for? We don't need more. I know the world is tough, but all we need to show is love. Everything will be fine. Now here's your sign. La 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 nahtajul mala كي نزداد جمالا. جوهرنا هنا في القلب لا 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 لا. نرضي الناس بما لا نرضاه لنا حالا. ذاك جمالنا يسمو يتعالى. أوه 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 أوه. كن أنت تزداد جمالا. كن أنت تزداد جمالا. لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله. Always be yourself, that is where you will find yourself. That is the key to the door for happiness and more. Always put your faith in your Lord, He will keep you safe. Don't ever feel no fear, He'll always be right here. La 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 nahtajul mala كي نزداد جمالا. جوهرنا هنا في القلب لا 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 لا. نرضي الناس بما لا نرضاه لنا حالا. ذاك جمالنا يسمو يتعالى. أوه 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 أوه. كن أنت تزداد جمالا. Loving yourself will set you free. You don't have to follow all the things you see. Be yourself and you will find happiness and peace of mind. Oh, we are not alone. We have Allah. La 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 nahtajul mala كي نزداد جمالا. جوهرنا هنا في القلب لا 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 لا. نرضي الناس بما لا نرضاه لنا حالا. ذاك جمالنا يسمو يتعالى. أوه 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 أوه. كن أنت تزداد جمالا. كن أنت تزداد جمالا.
मैं भटका हुआ था, परेशान था मैं, सहारा भी मुझको मिला था न कोई। तुझे मैंने सबके दिलों में जो ढूंढा, मिला मुझको अपने ही दिल के किनारे। या अल्लाह या अल्लाह या अल्लाह या रहीम या करीम। ज़मी के हुस्न में शराबूर था मैं, उठाता था असर ढूंढता था मैं तुझको, पहाड़ों सितारों बदलती फिजाओं को जब मैंने समझा मिला मुझको तू ही या अल्लाह या अल्लाह या अल्लाह या रहीम या करीम, या रहीम या करीम माफ कर दे मुझको भी, तू ही तो बस मेरे है सबसे करीब, हाँ करीम। या रहीम या करीम माफ कर दे मुझको भी, तू ही तो बस मेरे है सबसे करीब, हाँ करीम। लगा के ये दिल मैंने दुनिया से देखा, फिर ऐसा हुआ दिल लगाया ये तुझसे, न दर में न शहर में न अपने ही घर में मिला जो सुकून कलब तेरे घर में। या अल्लाह या अल्लाह या अल्लाह या रहीम या करीम, या रहीम या करीम माफ कर दे मुझको भी, तू ही तो बस मेरे है सबसे करीब, हाँ करीम। या रहीम या करीम माफ कर दे मुझको भी, तू ही तो बस मेरे है सबसे करीब, हाँ करीम। या रहीम या करीम माफ कर दे मुझको भी, तू ही तो बस मेरे है सबसे करीब, हाँ करीम। या रहीम।
Welcome back. I'm yours truly, Imam Safraz Ghani, host of this weekly program titled Soul Inspirations, your program for inspiration, information, education, and entertainment on this beautiful, beautiful Friday morning, the first Friday, the first Jum'ah in the new Islamic year, the year 1447. Today being the first day of this particular month, the month of Muharram. Jummah Mubarak going out to you and yours, and of course happy Islamic New Year going out to you as well. May the peace, blessings and mercies of Almighty Allah be with you. Well, at this point we now get into our lecture segment, and like I mentioned before, this morning we are talking about failure, the catalyst for progress. And I want to start off by reminding you of one very, very beautiful verse of the Quran. In chapter 2 verse 286, Almighty Allah mentions that Allah does not lay a burden upon anyone that is beyond his capacity. And this verse clearly shows that Almighty Allah, the most merciful, does not burden anyone to the extent that is beyond their capacity. It provides the hope that while we may encounter failures, we possess the strength within ourselves to handle them through the grace of Allah. In another verse, chapter 94, verse 5, Almighty Allah reminds us, for indeed, with every hardship comes ease. This short verse of the Holy Quran is a reminder that everything, even the difficult times, is temporary, and things eventually will change for the better. Every failure is followed by success. Hard times come and go. That is why it is absolutely important to remain steadfast and to have faith in the Almighty. It is a simple message of hope, yet it is full of wisdom, since losing hope is the real failure. If you have failed 10,000 times, tell yourself that I have not failed, and I have just found 10,000 ways that would not work. So this morning I want to talk about failure, something we have all experienced at some point, something we all fear, and yet something we all need. Today I want to challenge what failure really means. I want to show you how it can be the greatest teacher, the greatest motivator, and the catalyst in your journey to success. So basically, we are taught from a young age that failure is something to avoid. We are taught from a young age that failure is bad. Bad grades equals bad students. A rejected job application equals not good enough. A failed business equals to a personal defeat. But here's the truth. Failure is not the opposite of success. Failure is part of the process. Failure is part of success. Without failure, you cannot truly appreciate the sweetness of success. Every successful person you admire has failed at some point. So now that we have established that failure is indeed an inevitable part of life's journey, it is important that you develop the mentality of failing forward. What does it mean to fail forward? Failing forward means using failure as a launch pad, not as a dead end. It's not about avoiding mistakes, it's about learning, adapting, and growing from them. And I want to give you the example of Michael Jordan, the great basketball player, one of the great basketball players ever to have graced the stage. He was cut from his high school basketball team, and he said that I have missed more than 9,000 shots in my career. I have failed over and over and over again in my life, and that is why I have succeeded. Failing forward is a mindset. It is a mindset that you have to develop. It is a mindset that says that this did not work yet. I am not failing, I am learning. And psychologists define resilience as the ability to bounce back from adversity. Studies show that grit and passion and perseverance for long-term goals is a better predictor of success than IQ or talent. And in life, the most successful people aren't the smartest ones. They are the most determined. Resilience isn't something you are born with. It is a skill you build through your challenges, through your struggles, and of course through your failures. So from within the ashes of your failures, you find the courage to move on. You find the resilience to build and to push on forward with your life. And it is important that you understand how to build the muscle of resilience. Well, first of all, it is important that you reframe failure. Change the narrative, change the story, and instead of saying, I have failed, say to yourself that I have learned from my experience. Practice self-compassion. Talk to yourself just like you would talk to a friend in need. Failure does not define you. Take time to reflect and adjust. Ask yourself, what went wrong? And what can I do differently the next time around? The next point is extremely important. Surround yourself with growth-minded people. Resilient communities create resilient individuals. Take action, even if it's a small action. That momentum will build confidence, and that confidence will build resilience. Failure is feedback. It is not a final judgment. When babies learn to walk, they fall hundreds of times, but they don't say to themselves, well, I guess walking is not for me. They just keep on pushing on through. Why? Because failure is expected in the learning process. It is feedback. It is not a final verdict. Failure is a great teacher only if you are willing to listen. Now, here is the important part about failure. It is not the failure that defines you. It is your response to it. You can let failure make you bitter, or you can let failure make you better. You can let it shut you down, or you can let it wake you up. You can let failure stop you, or you can let failure fuel you. The choice is yours at the end of the day. So ask yourself this question. Do you really want to achieve? Will you really get back up? What are you really made of? And every time you fail and you choose to keep going, you build the courage, you build the mental fortitude to keep going. So as we now enter this new year, enter with a positive mindset. Because here is the truth. The truth is, you will fail. The truth is, you will fall. The truth is, you will face rejection. But guess what? Every failure is a stepping stone. Every mistake is a lesson. Every setback is a setback for a comeback. So move ahead with the intention of failing forward. Fail with purpose. Rise with resilience. So this year, don't aim to avoid failure. Aim to learn from it. Aim to grow from it. And aim to build something better because of it. Because success isn't about never failing. It's about rising every single time. So as we move forward with this new year, the year 1447 on the Islamic calendar, I pray that Almighty Allah continues to bless you with the resilience, the courage to move forward in a most positive manner. I pray that Almighty Allah makes this year a year of happiness, a year of goodness, a year of prosperity. And may Almighty Allah bless us with many, many more wonderful years ahead as we continue on with the journey of our lives.
ليلة من الليالي لست أدري ما تراني ظلمة تغمرني يا رب الأرض ضاقت والسماء وقلبي ما رفض ضياء والدمع بات يبكي يا إلهي يا إلهي يا إلهي يا إلهي يا إلهي عصيت والذنب كبير وإني في حزني أسير مقيد بذنبي يا رب فهل أستحق يا إلهي العفو مجرما مقر بالذنوب يا إلهي يا إلهي يا إلهي يا إلهي يا إلهي أنت الذي خلقتني رحمتني ورزقتني دوما يا ربي قد كنت معي لكنني نأيت عنك نسيت ما قد كان لك وسرت في طريق يا إلهي يا إلهي يا إلهي يا إلهي يا إلهي أنت الذي خلقتني رحمتني ورزقتني دوما يا ربي قد كنت معي لكنني نأيت عنك نسيت ما قد كان لك وسرت في طريق يا إلهي يا إلهي يا إلهي يا إلهي يا إلهي واليوم يا ربي أعود من ظلمة خلف الحدود فالقلب منكسر وطرفي حائر وأنا الغريق فلا أرى إلا سواك لمنقذا لا منجا ولا منجا إلا أنت يا إلهي يا إلهي يا إلهي يا إلهي يا إلهي يا إلهي يا إلهي
Indeed, Ya Ilahi, O my Lord, O my Creator, guide me towards all that is good, protect me, and have mercy upon me. Well, on that note, we are now coming to the end of the program for this morning. I want to take the opportunity, first of all, to say a very special thank you going out to the sponsors. The program this morning has been brought to you through the kind courtesies of Point Fortune Hardware Limited, Nicer Brand Products Limited, Adams Project Management and Construction Limited, Trinilink Solutions Limited, The Original Barbecue Hut Limited, and Absolute Investments Limited of Monroe Road in Kanupi. I also must take the opportunity as well to say a very special salam and greetings of peace going out to you and yours, to all of our listeners and viewers who have joined us on the program this morning. Thank you so much for your beautiful messages. Thank you so much for joining us on the program this morning. May the peace, blessings and mercies of Almighty Allah be with you. Well, of course, it was indeed an absolute pleasure to be in your company once again over the past hour or so. By all means, do catch me next week Friday from 5 a.m. as we bring to you another episode of Soul Inspirations, your program for inspiration, information, education and entertainment. I'm your host and brother in humanity, Imam Safraz Ghani, signing out for this morning. Until next week, please do have an extremely blessed day, a blessed weekend. Stay safe, stay in the mercy of Almighty Allah. Much love and may the peace, blessings and mercies of Almighty Allah be with you. Up next is News at 6, followed by Prabhat. By all means, definitely do keep it locked on to 103.1 FM for more inspirational and motivational programming throughout the course of today. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
हम तेरे बिना अब रह नहीं सकते, तेरे बिना क्या वजूद मेरा। हम तेरे बिना अब रह नहीं सकते, तेरे बिना क्या वजूद मेरा। तुझसे जुदा अगर हो जाएंगे तो खुद से ही हो जाएंगे जुदा। अब तुम ही हो, बस तुम ही हो या रबी, बस तुम ही हो। चैन भी मेरी हर खुशी, मेरी जिंदगी, बस तुम ही हो या रबी। तेरा मेरा रिश्ता है कैसा, एक पल दूर गो